Today, consumerism is preached against, blamed for destroying the planet. But for those of us who remember the gray streets of socialist Poland, the abundance critics decry was a dream. Critics call for degrowth, but they ignore the machinery that sustains us. It is the structural stability that allows for social welfare, scientific progress, and personal security. Think about $1,000 spent on a high-end laptop. It triggers a cascade. $250 goes to the state for roads and schools. $350 pays the wages of the driver and the clerk. $300 feeds the small businesses in the supply chain. $100 funds the R&D of tomorrow. As of 2026, over 170 countries rely on consumption-based taxes to keep ICU monitors running. Health taxes on tobacco and sugar are projected to generate $3.7 trillion globally over the next 5 years. Why is growth non-negotiable? Because in our highly indebted world, stagnant economies collapse. When consumption stalls, the debt-to-GDP ratio explodes, innovation halts, and the pensions of our aging population vanish. The degrowth movement is a romantic anti-enlightenment ideology that mirrors the failed Malthusian fears of the past. In 1800, critics predicted mass starvation for 1 billion people. Today, we are 8 billion. Since then, extreme poverty has plunged from 90% to roughly 10%, and lifespans have doubled. We didn't solve these problems by doing less. We solved them through the multiplication of minds. More does not always translate to more problems, but more solutions. The answer isn't a retreat into a primitive minimalism that would abandon the world's poor. Environmental stewardship is a luxury of the secure. You cannot contemplate the divine when you are fighting for your daily bread. The solution is not to stop spending, but to spend better. Pay that 10% more for a local provider over a subsidized global platform. Keep that capital in your tax base to fund your local fire department. So, rather than moralizing over the climate apocalypse and condemning the West for its consumerist excesses, we must pivot toward a solution-oriented mindset.